the tables do turn.
Black Phone 2 is, I hate to say this, the definition of a sequel that didn't need to happen. But what's really unique about this sequel is it takes a set of characters and puts them into a scenario they don't belong in. Let's get into it. I think we all expected this movie was going to fall into that category. Elements in the trailer that didn't seem to define the first movie, leaning way more into the supernatural, and upon seeing it, it's abundantly clear how this production went. They had a cool idea for that movie, very unique to the genre, and it made a lot of money, so a sequel it must have.
Here we go again.
Problem is, the elements that made that movie scary, the characters written to fit into that setting, don't exactly translate here. In the original, Finney was notably younger, trapped in a helpless position. That's what made the grabber effective as a villain. But that's no longer an option. It's down to common horror movie tropes that, despite some effort to make similar, simply do not fit. That's partly due to the tone being completely different, the somewhat forced way they get back into this predicament. It's not completely forced. Finney and Gwen technically have a reason to go into the mountains, in a secluded area, get jobs at a Christian-themed camp. It's the whole nightmare issue Gwen had that's upgraded to sleepwalking. To a severe extent, but the dreams say go there, they get snowed in, and stuff ensues. You could argue it's a bit stupid to willingly head up there, reasons are eventually given, and not exactly early enough to justify it. The grabber is more of a supernatural entity in this, only appearing in Gwen's dreams, but still able to do stuff and knock people around. It's kind of just what the plot needs. But the biggest issue is not even the pulled out of their ass narrative, it's the characters. That's the biggest issue here. Most notably Gwen, Madeleine, and McGraw, who is basically the lead this time, is given the exact same personality as the first movie. There she wasn't the main focus, she was notably younger, it made sense, but being the psycho's main target, being attacked in your sleep, I'll just say it, it's not a very good performance. I don't buy it. She keeps making these cringeworthy insults like she did in the first movie. They don't fit here. And even though I know many won't agree, when the setting changes, some things need to change with it. As expected, Finney is basically sidelined. Obviously, he has the whole traumatized from past events, but he's not remotely interesting in this either. He starts out by imitating his dead friend from the first movie. Creative right off the bat, so when they give him an emotional moment or relevancy in the final conflict, it's mainly because they had to. Then you have the rest, multiple side characters, mostly with one-note personalities, and I swear, they don't do anything. You got a wooden actress playing somebody named Mustang, who is strong, I suppose. He says a lot of cliche stuff.
We need this!
Apparently Stephen King was on set and threw in a crazy Christian woman, completely out of place. And another notable character being shoehorned in toward the end, again, for no reason. I mean, I guess Gwen does have a boyfriend who doesn't do anything, so the only new character I like is Armando, the supervisor. No reason, he's just kinda likable. And of all these new additions, the acting is okay to subpar. That's when the "this didn't need to exist" vibe really comes in. Nobody seems to know why they're there. So when you add on a plot that's, let's face it, nothing new, you have the definition of a cash grab sequel. There are some attempts to stand out and even effort put into resembling the first movie. I should mention that did have some supernatural elements. It's not a complete change, but now we gotta talk about the pacing.
Fuck!
Which again is not terrible, but there are scenes that drag on way too long, explaining things we already know. Exposition is what they call it. And they take a moment from a very good scene that gives us backstory on a notable character, and then overly explains it to us. In the next scene, the entirety of what's going on, the movie's plot, is explained in a very long scene. It's simply not good writing, not awful, but the pacing needed some work. It's too bad because I actually like the overall premise. There are good ideas thrown in, and like I said, it's trying to be a sequel. Just not hard enough. The static visions you see when a dream takes place is a nice touch. You do wonder what they mean early on, and a good amount of decent jump scares, memorable effects, and just overall good scenes do kinda keep my attention. That and the inclusion of another brick in the wall, but not the overplayed part 2. That's gonna confuse the radio-only casuals. And I'm not gonna lie, I do again love Ethan Hawke as the grabber. You don't see him quite as much, but he does really put the work in. And even though it could have just been lazily copy and pasted, they do actually give him development. So, good job there. Ethan Hawke is a big standout, as is a pretty fun finale, but again, not having the right impact. Finney being sidelined, characters who do absolutely nothing completely derail it, and despite my best efforts, I just couldn't care that much. For a movie that wastes a lot of time, has a questionable number when it comes to the body count, by the end, I can't say I cared if anybody made it. I'm not going to keep emphasizing how much we didn't need it, it's still decent enough, but something about this sequel takes that confusion a bit further. I guess it's too different, almost nobody fits in, it's so obvious they were desperate to make something. But in the same vein, I did enjoy it for a number of reasons, Ethan Hawke being the main one. No longer essential viewing, that's long gone, but not a complete waste either.
Could have been worse, John. A lot worse.
It's very close to fuck the whole thing, how could they do this, but just enough good ideas to, I guess, kinda save it. So, let me know what you thought about Black Phone 2 down in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please share it, hit the like button, consider subscribing, and if you don't hit the bell to get notified, guess what? You won't be. Recommendations unreliable. I'm the analyst, and remember kids, there is a limit to how many characters can do nothing. It's 5.